Greetings and salutations everybody, welcome back to my latest video. However, if you are new here, here for the first time, I like to make these little videos about things I enjoy and want to share, usually about film, and lately it's been a lot of horror and 80s throwbacks. And if you like what you see here, please consider subscribing and hitting that little bell icon down in the corner to get notifications for when I put up new content, which is usually once or twice a week, and it is very important to hit that bell and try to watch those videos within their first couple of hours. It really helps out the algorithm quite a bit, as does sticking around to the end of the video and sharing it with everybody you know. Now that all that's out of the way, all the usual YouTube stuff, I got out to the theater this week to see Halloween Ends in 2022. You know, this latest and final film. It's a fresh new theatrical release to speak on. Yeah, it was also it's also released same day as on Peacock, which I don't really care for that, as this picture from the theater shows you what kind of turnout you get on opening nights when you also decide to put it on streaming. Not quite the same experience. Anyways, this will be a non-spoiler little recommendation for this film, so don't worry. But if you are okay with spoilers, and or if you've already seen the film and don't really, kind of interested to see what I have to say about some more details, stick around to the end, because that's where I have a little bit of some extra detail there that might be very spoiler-like. Anyways, this film takes place a couple years after the last one. We pick up with Lori living with her granddaughter, not in the lockdown, stockpiled kind of situation, which was kind of burned out at the end of the first film in these recent releases. But this is just a, regular place. She's working on a book about her experiences and trying to just let life get back to normal, even though Michael Myers escaped at the end of the last film. He's been kind of missing in action for about 4 years as far as the storyline goes. But that's not all. We also have a new character brought in, a babysitter who kind of has experienced some tragedy in his past that has him kind of now being treated as a bit of a freak, so to speak. And this is kind of due to the town seeming to need people to push their blame and anger on about the Michael Myers stuff. Whether it be this new character or Lori, or just they need something to vent all of this onto. But the biggest things a new viewer for this film needs to kind of keep in mind that I kind of put together after watching this. First off, it takes a bit to get going. We're talking 30 to 40 minutes of just character building, getting us up to speed on some situations that happened, previously. And in my opinion, though, I feel like this is very important, for where the film is going to go ultimately. Second, it takes you down a strange direction for a bit. There are points where I thought it was heading in a certain direction that I would not be happy with, but I stuck with it and I got reeled back in and definitely enjoyed where it went. But also, this is very Michael Myers light. While he is important to the story, it felt like there was more focus on the other characters, as well as the town itself. Similar to how in the last film we had a little bit of attention brought on to the town folk as they formed their lynch mob. And finally, just stick with it. It does, in my opinion, round out toward the end and makes it much more worth the journey. And actually, by that ending of it, this one kind of hit me pretty hard, seeing a definitive end to a 44-year-old franchise with 13 films, 2 of which were reboots. One was an attempt to turn it into like an anthology. I mean, it's had some ups and downs over the years, 44 years. So seeing these, all this stuff kind of come to an end was really rough. Not that this franchise is perfect, of course, like I say, by any means. I feel like there were huge problems with this franchise in general. I love these 3 new ones. I love the original. And yes, I even love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. But that's about it. A lot of the ones in between I had a really hard time enjoying because they were trying so many different things along the way. But of course, I watched several of them to kind of catch up on the ones I hadn't seen before last year, and I will post links to those videos on the end screen and within the description of this as well. But anyways, I really feel like this one is worth checking out, worth sticking around, and it's very enjoyable, especially if you keep some of those earlier points in mind. But now for some quick bonus stuff here. So if you don't want spoilers, putting up this little banner here, go ahead and kind of stop here and come back after you've seen the film if you want to see the rest of this little recommendation, or if you really don't care about spoilers, or if you've already seen it. Here we go into some additional stuff here. So, first off, I was honestly worried that with the Corey character and that path he was on, kind of his tragedy, his bullying, and how the town treated him, and him kind of, Michael Myers kind of seeing the capability of this evil within him, that we were going to have some sort of evil transference or something, or possession, leading to a bunch of copycat situations and cheap little cash grab films after this. I'm really glad they didn't go that way. I know, because I really thought they were maybe going to take some inspiration from, I believe it was the end of Halloween 4, with that like evil transference kind of thing. I'm really glad we didn't go for that. Also, I loved seeing Darcy. If you know, you know. But I can't wait for the Blu-ray, since apparently she also had a death scene, and she was told that it was not only cut, but it's gonna end up on the special features. Now, when it comes to Michael Myers' death, I thought it was fantastic and brutal and definitive. He's definitely dead. I love that. I actually almost teared up when she made her speech about running from him, chasing him, trying to forgive him, seeing him as a boogeyman and knowing he's just a man and that she's going to kill him. Seeing those flashbacks throughout the franchise, seeing 44 years, even though it's mainly just the first one and then these 3 new ones, remembering all those ups and downs, and this finally coming to an end. It's like this sigh of relief that we finished this story, but also really sad that it's over. I felt like it ended really well, though. Even seeing like the little kid from the 2018 version, or the woman who survived the knife attack to the throat in Halloween Kills, I believe it was. Not to mention his whole town coming together at that junkyard at the end, knowing the only way I will ever get more Halloween films would be in a reboot. And for a reboot to be accepted at all, since Rob Zombie already did it twice, we would need to wait a good 20 or 30 years for that to be a good move for this franchise to actually reboot it, because I think this one's going to have some life for a long time, and people aren't going to be in the mood to see it restarted, because what else are they going to bring to the story at this point after 13 years that people are going to be ready for? But the other thing is, let me go ahead and take down this little banner now so anybody can pop back in to see. So there's some more non-spoiler stuff. So I can see some people having very mixed views on this one. Complaints about it being boring, slow, taking too long to get going, not enough Michael Myers, not feeling like the other Halloween films. I totally understand that, but I would guess that, if it was the similar formula from those previous films and kind of mimicked a lot of that, we would also hear complaints that it was just the same old and didn't give us anything new. It's same kind of responses I heard. I believe it was Michael Okuda, of one of the people who worked on Star Trek, some of the older films and Next Generation. Some of the comments he made about those, how the fans come across in a way of saying, give me something new, something different, but don't change anything. How do you possibly please everybody? This is tricky to do something fresh, take something in a new direction from where it was already established. But in my opinion, I think they did it really well. Not just for a final film in the franchise of the Blumhouse / McBride stuff, but just I think they took it in a really good direction. And I loved how everything ended. And I could see myself definitely checking out the original and these 3 new ones frequently. And of course, going back for Halloween 3. I mean, come on, Tom Atkins, you have to. Anyways, that's about all that I have for this one. Check it out. Thanks for checking out this video. Click on those links within the description, or, within these boxes that'll pop up in a moment. And I will see you in the next one.